Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and 'twill out at the casement. Shut that, 'twill out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke, out at the chimney. Just before this moment, Rosalind and Orlando are in the midst of their love play, their testing of each other's love. It's a scene which has many, many different sections to it. I like to think of it as a scene where they almost have a 7-year relationship within it. It's a battle of ideas about what should a relationship be, what should love be. I think Rosalind is desperately in love with Orlando, but is fearful of what it means to commit herself long-term to someone.
Rosalind has more lines than any woman in the whole of Shakespeare, and this is an example of one of those scenes where she talks a lot.
She does.
What are the different things that she might be trying to do to Orlando in this love lesson?
Well, I guess there is one version which is that she wants to test the strength of his love. But I guess when you go down that route, that can sometimes seem a little bit too hard on him, but that is definitely something to explore and to see how much of that she is doing within the scene. And I think at the same time, she herself is exploring what does a long-term relationship look like and what could that look like together.
Great, yeah. So I'd love to explore that first version to begin with, which is what if Rosalind is trying to make him lose the game. If this is a love game,
yes,
what happens if she thinks he's going to lose it, or she wants him to lose the game?
Yes.
I'd love to see what happens if we try that, and I'm especially interested in what that does to both Orlando and Celia. Celia does not talk in this scene, but she is very much present in this scene. So I'd love to see what that does to both of the characters.
Now tell me, how long you would have her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Say a day! Without the ever! No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a cock pigeon over his head. More clamorous than a parrot against rain. More newfangled than an ape. More giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, like Diana in the fountain. And I will do that when thou art disposed to me merry. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she could not have the wit to do this, the wiser the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and 'twill out at the casement. Shut that, 'twill out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke out at the chimney.
A man that had a wife with such a wit, he might say wit with a wilt.
Nay! You might keep that check for it till you met your wife's wit going to your neighbour's bed.
And what wit could wit have to excuse that?
Marry to say she came to seek you there. You shall never take her without her answer, unless you take her without her tongue. Oof. That woman that cannot make her fault her husband's occasion, let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
Isn't it interesting that what we're left with is a silence, is enormous tension in the room, people who don't really know what to say next or what to do next, and a feeling that what Rosalind's done in this scene is shut people up and shut them down.
Celia being observing the scene, actually in that, I actually felt more connected to a Rosalind that was being more aggressive towards Orlando, because she therefore felt much closer to me.
How is it for you, David?
it's sort of like when you've got your best mate that is really, really lovely with you, you have such a good time, and all of a sudden they turn a little bit nasty. And it's like, why are you doing this? I thought this was a game. I thought we were having fun. I thought this was a good thing that we were doing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's got a bit nastier.
Yeah.
And I didn't, it's like I was sort of questioning stuff. As Orlando, he's questioning the whole love thing himself, as in like, no, I need to reassure myself that this is, but the woman that I love, she's not going to be like this. She's not going to be nasty like this, is she? And then sort of continually getting shut down by Ganymede.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things it does give us when we try the scene that way is a sense of Rosalind in starting to become consumed by Ganymede, because she's been disguised as Ganymede and as this young man for quite some time now. Yeah. And it's interesting to see where the line might blur between Ganymede and Rosalind.
After the scene, you know, she's very hard on Rosalind and what she's done, and also what she says about women. You know, Rosalind dressed as a man, playing a woman, somehow becomes a man playing a woman, or with all these stereotypes. You know, I'm going to be jealous. You know, might go to another man's bed. All of these things. I think for Celia, she's thinking, why are you saying all of this about women?
Of course, what really sticks out is Celia as the character in the scene who knows both Rosalind and Ganymede, and Celia being the only one in the scene who knows the game, and how unfair it felt on Orlando as somebody who didn't know the game, who didn't know the disguise. And I think what you said there, David, about the game, it should be a game. And we've got to remember as well that this is a comedy and that this play is funny. And here are also two people who fell in love with each other. And I wonder whether we could explore another version now that's about having a bit more of the lighter spirit, the more playful spirit of Rosalind.
Now tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Ooh, say a day without the ever. No. Orlando, men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, like Diana in the fountain. And I will do that when thou art disposed to be merry. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she could not have the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and 'twill out at the casement. Shut that, 'twill out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke. Out at the chimney.
A man that had a wife with such a wit, he might say wit with a will.
Nay, you might keep that cheque for it till you met your wife's wit going to your neighbour's bed.
And what wit could wit have to excuse that?
Married to say she came to seek you there? You shall never take her without her answer, unless you take her without her tongue. That woman that cannot make her fault her husband's occasion, let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
version felt so different because you two were left just grinning at each other. And Celia felt completely on the outside of it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, that time, Lucy, you didn't
I forgot about
involve her at all. And you forgot about her. Because all of your attention was on kind of just making the most of having your time with Orlando, which really helps with there's the line later in the scene about I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. So I guess what that version gives us is a Rosalind who's trying to keep him in the room, who's trying to get him to stay.
I think perhaps, you know, the protection of this other character, this other Ganymede, allows her to ask him all the questions that she's ever wanted to ask him without fear of rejection, or she can push and test the boundaries in a way that perhaps she might not have been as comfortable as doing as Rosalind. I mean, who wouldn't, if you were dating someone, love to ask them all the questions and see them as they really are?
How did you guys find those different? How did you find it that time with the more positive actions?
It's interesting because it made it less about Rosalind for me and more about Ganymede. That my feelings then for Ganymede were, it's always like, oh yeah, this is my friend who's going and giving me all of this advice, and we have this really great connection. So it's not, it didn't, even though the lines, oh, but will my Rosalind do so and stuff like that, it's sort of thinking about her in a sense, but this connection was a lot stronger. This Ganymede and Orlando relationship was really strong. And I wanted to stay, I wanted to be there, because I was having such a good time. I think what he is really, really enjoying is spending time with Ganymede, and there's something really exciting about that game being played. He wants to do well. He wants to win this game that's set up. He wants to play and have fun with Ganymede. So there's a sort of back and forth that begins with them.
What I loved the second time was the spark between the two of you. And ultimately, I'm left watching it, wanting Orlando and Rosalind to get together and to be together, which feels really important for the audience in their relationship.